Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Reiki Rising. I'm Raven, your host, and today we are talking about the new moon solar eclipse in Aries and what this means, how is it showing up in your life, and ways to work with it energetically. I also wanted to add that I have been reading Cosmic Health by Jennifer Racioppi, and I want to share some insights from the book, especially around astrology, the body, and how we can align with the natural cycles of the universe. I got this book for the pop-up shop that I've been creating inside of my wellness studio, and it is my goal to read every single book that I am putting in this space so that I am well informed to share insights from these with you, whether you're buying the book from me or not. But I highly recommend this book. It is definitely really the most concrete advice as far as navigating cyclical living. The author of this book, Mercury retrograde, Jennifer Racioppi, shares a lot of her personal insights on how she has used astrology to navigate health issues and find ease in navigating difficult times in her life using astrology, but also working with your personal birth chart. So some of the information that I share today and that is in that book, Cosmic Health, this is specific to where these planetary placements are in your birth chart. So I will be sharing a link in the description of this episode with a link to the book, as well as a link to how you can find that information and look up your birth chart. If you don't know the exact time, it's going to be more general, but if you do, great, you'll be able to find all the information that you need, and if not, just sit back and listen and maybe be open to finding something that aligns with you in some way. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so there is no doubt that eclipse energy is intense. And this is not just another new moon. It is really shaking things up. You are in the middle of a space where the old is really unraveling and falling away, and the new of whatever that is for you is setting you on a new path, and you have to walk through this fiery energy to get there. So it's clearing out what's no longer working and really setting us up on a new direction, a new alignment, whether we feel ready or not. This new moon solar eclipse in Aries is like a cosmic reset button. Aries is all about action, independence, courage, and new beginnings. So this eclipse is happening in the first sign of the zodiac. So this is our astrological new year as we shift into Aries season. So it feels like an invitation for us to maybe step into a newer version of ourselves. But here's the thing about an eclipse. They don't follow usual new moon energy rules. So normally we'd be setting intentions and start fresh, but during an eclipse, the energy is a little unstable. Instead of forcing something new, maybe think about paying attention to what is shifting naturally for you. So this is a time to really tune in to this past couple of weeks when we started with the last episode that I shared. And again, sorry about that. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been busy, and I'll share a little update at the end. So from the lunar eclipse until now, what has been happening around there? Pay attention to the themes of things that are naturally shifting and falling away. we also have Mercury and Venus in retrograde. So some of this might be around our relationships, the things that we think of as far as beauty and joy and love in our lives. Like, what relationships have been falling away for you that are no longer needed and maybe aren't serving this alignment. And when I say serving, I mean everything in our life happens for our benefit, right? There is no right or wrong. There is what's happening, and everything around that, whether we think it's negative or positive, is based on the stories that we attach to it. So we have the opportunity to look at our relationships and look at our situations in our life, whatever that is, whatever theme is arising for you, and it'll be different depending on where this eclipse and where Aries falls in your chart. But whatever that is something that you have the opportunity to look at as not negative or positive, but to find the benefit of that in this next chapter. So how can we reframe our perspective on these situations so that we learn the lessons or the teachings or take in and integrate everything that's happened in these situations so that we can take our next step forward. So everything that happens is for our benefit. It's for our growth, even when it does feel icky, when we don't like it, when we have some type of aversion to it, or we want to create distance between what's happening and ourselves. But when we do that, when we don't have the capacity or the skills or awareness to integrate these things, this is where energy healing is really beneficial, because not only can we send Reiki or healing energy, aligning energy to the situation itself, but if we come into situations where we don't have the capacity to process those emotions and we are kind of stepping it aside and saying, I don't want to look at that, I don't want to deal with that, that is what creates the imbalance in our energy field. So then when our energy fields are imbalanced because of this situation, because of the energy we are sidestepping, we're creating a gap or a block, however you want to look at it, in our energetic field. And when that happens, our energetic field isn't flowing properly. Our nervous system, our endocrine system, our brain chemistry tries to mitigate this. And it may create some disease in your body, in your physical body. You may, over time, if you repeatedly avoid certain situations, you create circuitry that is not completely in harmony. And that's okay. Sometimes we don't have the capacity to do that at the given time. So when these repeated situations occur again and again, it's another opportunity for us to re-examine that. So take a really close look at what's happening in your life right now. What's been going on, and pay attention to what's shifting naturally, not trying to force anything during this eclipse. Eclipses work in 6-month cycles, but the effects of this one are going to be really strong over the next 6-ish weeks, and that means you might start seeing things fall away. Old beliefs, relationships, jobs, patterns, anything that is not useful to you is clearing out. Not useful to you in the terms of your growth is clearing out so that something more aligned can come in. It can feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But when we lean into the energy of Aries, it teaches us to really trust our instincts and to really take those bold steps. You've got to let go. Let go, quit holding on. Everything is impermanent. So if we are focused on, oh, it's always been this way, this is how I do things, let go of that as much as you possibly can. See if you can loosen the grip on that. And that little voice that comes in and is like, you should do this, you should move forward in this way, that inner guidance, our instincts and our intuition kicking in, we have a tendency to step into the fear part and be like, I don't know. Really trust those instincts right now. Be bold and just take those steps forward, whatever they are. Take one small action forward and just keep planting those seeds. This is what I want to do. If it's a career change, start looking at what it is that you'd want to do. If you know what you want to do, start looking for those opportunities. How are you going to present yourself? Make a list, make a vision board. Find some way to take a step forward. Another great way to do this is scripting. And I've talked about this in my Abundance Masterclass episode. It's a ways back, but if you search for it, it's in there in the episodes here on this podcast. So scripting is a really great way to take a step forward and to manifest. So if you are wanting to do that change and you are wanting to take a step forward, start scripting as if those things have already happened. So nothing new, again. Look at what's changing. We're not forcing here during this eclipse. The energy is not stable enough for us to be planting something brand new that we haven't ever thought of before. If it relates to something that you've been kind of mulling over or thinking about, or some shift that's already happening in your life, lean into that. Lean into that space. Script out what that would look like as if it was already happening. And notice how you feel, especially in the heart space. What does this spark for you? What energy? Where do you feel this in the body? Aries is astrology-wise, Aries rules the head, the face, the brain, and the adrenal system. So when I say, where are you feeling this eclipse, notice if you're feeling any headaches, any jaw tension, or just restlessness. Maybe you have racing thoughts. That can also be anxiety. But just notice where you're feeling this. So I was not really aware prior to reading this book, Cosmic Health. I didn't think about how the astrology of our body and like what parts of our body are ruled by different planets and how that can affect how we're feeling. I think I knew it on a wider viewpoint, on a kind of bird's eye view, but really reading this book kind of solidified, okay, like this is the cosmic alignment within me. And so when these things are a little off, look and see what's happening planet-wise, astrology-wise, what's happening in the ethers that could be contributing to that. So the Cosmic Health book really talks about how your physical body reflects the cycles we're moving through energetically. And it's not just what's happening out there, but it's also happening inside of us, because we are reflection. Everything is a reflection outwards. So what's happening in the universe also happens within us. And so this eclipse may be affecting you in different ways, depending on where Aries is in your birth chart. But regardless of that, if you are unsure or if you don't know the birth time, place, all of that information, this is a really great time to just slow down, to ground yourself, and to really just check in with your body. How is your nervous system responding to this energy? How are you feeling right now? And taking some time there just to explore that inner landscape. But if you want to get personal with this eclipse, I'm linking that link in the description to look up your birth chart if you don't have it handy already. There's also a great app that I like to use called CoStar, where you can put your information in, and it does give you like little daily updates. Sometimes they're a little obtuse or abstract, but I do like it just for housing my birth chart as like a quick reference. So I'll link that as well. So if Aries is, just for example, a few examples here, if Aries is in your first house, the first house represents our self and our sense of self and our identity. So big personal shifts may be happening here, figuring out who you are on a soul level and how you show up in the world. Like, who are you? Who is the self that you identify with? And how do you share that with the world? How does that show up in your relationships? How does it show up in your career? How does it show up in the way you care for yourself, the way you care for others? Looking at that, yourself, how that is formed. In the seventh house is really focused on relationships. So you may be seeing major relationship changes, beginnings, endings, even a shift in dynamics if Aries is in your seventh house. If it's in the 10th house, this is career and purpose. So you may be seeing new opportunities or maybe making some of those big decisions around your work or around like your career or visibility, your purpose in the world, what you're here for, what's your soul's purpose, what really lights you on fire. So you may be making some decisions around that during this time. The fourth house is about home and foundation. So if Aries is in your fourth house, you may be seeing changes in your home life. It may be related to your physical structure of your home. It may be related to moving your home or moving something structurally, as well as the structure of family or even emotional security and safety. And again, if you don't know your chart, you can look it up online for free with your birth time, location. It really is just fascinating to see how these transits play out in real life. It is spot on. And as I was reading through Cosmic Health, one of the things that it talks about is like the things that you, in relation to your lunar cycle, into your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign, and especially with your sun sign, how you care for yourself, what your challenges are, and what things you should be doing as far as like movement practices. And it is spot on. So I can't say enough about this book. I am going to link it, but I do have some copies here in the space if you are local to me. So reach out, come in and grab one. Let me know, because I really definitely, it's spot on. She did an amazing job with this book. So let's talk about working with this eclipse energy. Since this eclipse is clearing the way for something new, the best thing that we can do right now is to stay open. Stay open, create space, and just trust the process. It's gonna be rough, but trust the process. So here are a few ways to support yourself through it. With Reiki, if you have been feeling a little mental overload, you can place your hands on your forehead or even on your crown and just begin to breathe deeply and visualize that soft, golden, healing, light energy of Reiki, just easing any of that tension. If you have one hand placed on each side of your head, envision that energy just kind of bouncing back and forth, flowing through from one hand to the other and creating balance in your mind. Creating balance in your mind is really important right now because it's really easy for us to get off kilter we can get sucked into either side. I'm losing all of the, all these changes. This shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? We can get caught in the upset of things. Find balance, center, ground, get some time in nature as well to really ground this energy and take some space from everything that may be happening right now. Another is breath work and movement. Aries energy needs to move, whether it's, like I said, taking a walk or working out or just stretching. Move your body so that you can process whatever is coming up. Moving our physical body helps to release energy that is stored up and built up. So when I say create space with the breath, create space with movement to integrate whatever is happening for you. You can also do journaling and take some time to reflect. Instead of forcing new intentions, think about asking yourself a couple of questions. I'm just going to throw these out there. So as a reflection of what's happening right now, what am I being shown right now? What is coming up for you right now? What themes are coming up? What patterns or fears are coming up that need to be released? So what am I being shown? And what are the stories around that? What are the patterns that I have repeated that are arising again? And what are the fears that I need to let go of around this theme, whatever you're being shown? And the last is, where am I being asked to take a bold step forward? Where is the universe guiding you to take that step? Lastly, rest. Rest as much as you can. Listen to what is happening on the inner landscape. Aries wants us to act, but an eclipse season is about observing before leaping. So trust whatever is shifting right now is really part of a more grand, bigger realignment that's happening for you. So like I said, in the next several weeks, this is going to be what's kind of arising this next 4 to 6 weeks-ish. You may be seeing things kind of fall away quicker, speeding up a little bit. And again, just taking your time to really integrate whatever's coming through for you. So buckle up. And I am here if you need support, if you want to join us in the Substack and we can chat about it, comment on the podcast, share what's coming up for you. I'd love to chat with you about it. We have other offerings that are available. You can join us for weekly yoga classes online or in person. There's a few different events. I'm doing a seasonal retreat on Sunday for yin yoga and Reiki to support us in this shift right now. And then all the way in May, if you are near Spokane or local to Spokane, I am also doing a cosmic alignment Reiki journey to integrate everything that has come up for you in this last 6 weeks. So that'll be on May 17th. I'm going to link all of these events there. I just have a couple of final thoughts on the Cosmic Health book that I wanted to share with you. One of the things that I just love about this book is how it connects astrology with wellness and healing. So Jennifer Racioppi talks about how we can work with these planetary cycles instead of resisting them, which feels so relevant for this eclipse. She also emphasizes how important it is to listen to our bodies when cosmic shifts happen. They show up physically through our energy levels, emotions, and even the nervous system. So learning to recognize these patterns helps us to move through transitions with more ease. If you're looking for a book that blends astrology with resilience, self-care, and embodiment, I highly recommend this book. So I will put that in the description as well. This eclipse, it's bringing so much change, but it's also bringing a lot of clarity. So over the next few weeks, just notice those themes, what decisions feel inevitable, and where you're feeling called to step into something new. Thanks so much, friends. Take care of yourself, trust the process, and I'll see you next time on Reiki Rising. Don't go anywhere just yet. Thank you so much for listening to the Reiki Rising podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a rating, share it with someone that you think may benefit from it, share it on your social media if you feel called to do so. Join us in the Reiki Rising Substack community and connect in a different way. I would love to see you there, love to chat and hear how this landed for you. It has been such a beautiful start to this spring season. One of the things for me personally that I have been really wanting to do in this space is to build out a space for people to have all of their ritual supplies and metaphysical needs, books, things like that. So I have been working so hard to get this all set up. Hence the reason we skipped a week with the podcast. I just, did not have it in me, friends. It's been a lot, more than I imagined, but also so beautiful and great and feels like the next bold step for me personally. I will still be taking Reiki clients. That is my primary focus, is to help and guide and share these practices with you as I discover more about energy healing for myself on my own journey. I really want to impart that with others so that maybe something aligns and clicks for you in a different way. I'll be sharing different books that I'm reading and different resources to share with you all. If you are looking for some one-on-one support, check out the link. You can book a free consultation with me. We can discuss if working together on your healing, Reiki, energetic, spiritual journey is something that aligns with you. That consultation is by video chat or by phone, and you can book it in the link in the podcast description. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time.